the other thing I wanted to talk about, if I can say something, is the fact that if you watch our media settings now, whether radio, TV, you see there is a bunch of, I'm trying to use a word, those who entertainment and sports appeal so much to them. And they happen to have found a way out. You know, they happen to have found themselves up to have a certain stage. Majority of them did not waste much time in our schools, you know, or they didn't go. But those are the people who seem to be capturing the minds of our people. Now, I don't have problem when they capture the minds of the, not so much the intellectuals, but when the intellectuals, those in our universities, are so much obsessed and infatuated with them, we have a problem. You know, where you, engineer, as a doctor, instead of you to use your time to learn something, now you are so much infatuated with this comedy, which these created stories, that if we accept that we have a lot to do as Africans, then the few that we have sent this, through schools, the school may not have given them all that they should have, but at least the school the school has given us the tools to be able to use, to think, to create. Now, when others are thinking of design, they are thinking of processes, they are thinking of production, manufacturing, they are discussing finance, properties, coming up with ideas constantly. We, if you watch our TV, it's almost comedy and things that will not give us anything. Just because some bunch of people want to be always present on TV. You know, there should be a balance. We may not be able to do away with all the sports, the entertainment, the religion, but there should be the other side where things like this that we are discussing, you know, so people should have options, especially the people that we have sent to school, you know, the educated, the degree holders should have option where they are discussing things that will help us, that will equip us to create the future that we want. It's almost as if that when anything that the Africans put out, sometimes you sit back and say, are these people aware of what they have to do to become what they want to become? Or they think that somebody will come and do it for them, you know? And maybe if you look at the education and the background, you understand that the intention of the education that we have was designed to just produce a people who just like fun and wait for God to solve everything for them, you know? So if you go to our universities, just as the other day we were talking about, people will engage you when you talk about their religion. But when you talk about things that will extract the capacity of their brains, they will say that they are not interested. It's not for everybody. You know, so when you talk about things that will develop them, they say, oh, no, no, I don't like that. Then you come out of school, the reality hits you. Then you become frustrated. You say that the system has disappointed you. The system has not so much disappointed you. The opportunities are hugely here. But the problem is that you don't have the tools, you don't have the skills, you are not even aware because you are watching on TV, creating stories that we don't need. You know, people showing Rolls Royce and these boys singing. And our heroes, if you look around the world, Africans, our heroes are musicians and sports people. Okay, so whenever you are watching any program on business, on entrepreneurship, look at the other tribes, the people they bring. They bring people who started from ground. They were not sports people, they were not entertainers. They started with what they had, with ideas, with ingenuity. When they show an African, he was a sportsman who became a business person. He was a pastor who started the business. He was a entertainer who. So the intellectuals who we expect to get into creation, you know, the intellectuals who we expect to get into creation are nowhere, because the content that we are creating, the sports, the entertainment, the religion, the politics, the comedy, they are too much. And I think it's dangerous for us. And those of us who have gone to school must stand up. The middle class thinking, the me and my family kind of lifestyle, they are destroying us. And it's painful. So we need a lot of content like you, where you are getting people who are thinking. Create content on YouTube. If they will not listen to you, don't problem. Somebody else, one by one, all of us will start to put the things that we need beyond the school, because we all know that the school is not enough. And that's a fact. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to say.
So, Mr. Kwabena, talking about these intellectual people that they need to discuss things that will promote the development of the country and the continent as well. I did not see people on the televisions and radio stations discussing about the politics. Because of politics, we don't have a definite solution for.
If I look at most of the people holding the political talk shows, most of them are journalists who they just entered radio media quick. Most of them are not people with a lot of, technical training from our universities. Most of them are not like that. Most of them are are not critical in thinking. They just regurgitate, they just get the information, throw it out. They cannot even map the things. If you look well, whenever they are discussing problems, solutions, that's where you see their capacity, how they can think through things. Most of them cannot see things structurally and systematically, because the people who we should equip, like the young graduates, when they come, even though they came with engineering, with science and all those, when they come to meet the comedy. So after a while, they are also destroyed. They become comedians.
Yeah, it's true.
By this guy was a heavy economics guy. He says that education and schooling are not the same thing.
Okay.
What goes on inside the schools is often not education.
Okay.
And that the result may well be that it reduces productive capacity rather than to increase it.
Whoa.
Yes. Education and schooling are not the same thing. What goes on in the schools or what goes on inside the schools is often not education. And the results may well be that it reduces productive capacity rather than to increase it. So in a nutshell, what Sir William Atalewis is saying is that by merely going to school, chances are that your wings can get clipped.
Wow.
Yes.
That's obvious.
So your capacity to be productive will rather go down instead of it being made upwards, instead of increasing. And there's no other way. You can't disagree with him, because over the years, schools have demonstrated that. And one of the experts in education in Europe, now in the US, Sir Ken Robinson, he has said that we educate children out of their creativity. It's like when you are young, you are creative. I mean, you see that you are unstoppable. You can explore. But as you are taken through school, right even from the home, when you attempt things, you will be discouraged. Have you seen somebody doing this before? Don't do this, or you spoil this, or By the time you go through the first few years of formal education or schooling, your ability to explore and to be creative has been taken away from you. And sometimes it's actually shipped out of you. So the young people have to accept it, that what they are going through in the four walls of our educational institutions are nothing to write home about. That is not what is going to help them. Yes. Okay. And one of my mentors who recently passed on to glory, he said that when you graduate from school, that certificate they've given to you only says that you've learned to learn how to learn to work.
Okay.
The certificate is only saying that you've learned to learn how to learn to work.
Okay.
So really, you are now coming to learn how to work.
Okay.
And whichever field you find yourself, and you've outlined going through the government sector or the multinationals, or, basically, you are towing the middle class mindset of where you are so myopic in your worldview, your outlook to life. You are so selfish. You are not interested in developing anything to benefit anybody. You develop airs around you, and you know.
Right.
And
you have your Land Cruiser.
You think you've arrived. In some cases, you are compelled to take all manner of loans to fund that kind of appearance, and you think you are rich. No, there's more to life than these things. So I don't want to belabor the point. They have to understand that it's not the school that will set them up for life. The earlier they appreciate it, the better. And if there are questions on their minds, they should let us know. Do they even agree with what we are saying? They should let us know. Where they have difficulties, they should let us know, and then we can address them properly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Brilliant, as usual.
And maybe Mr. J, like my question is, do you think we can have problems to our solutions as an African or Ghanaian?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you think we can have solution to our problems?
Yes, absolutely. It starts with the knowledge. Knowledge is required for solutions. You know,
and the other time I was discussing with someone that it will be very difficult to have solution for our problems and our situations unless they kill all of us.
No, that's not true. That's not true. Because the other people, it's not like they're intelligent. They are not that intelligent. You see, let's say you are playing a game, let's say you are running 100 meters, and somebody else is at the 90th meter, and you are starting from 0, and then you are supposed to finish. The Europeans, they had advantage in terms of the invasions that they did. So a lot of the things that they did is because they had resources, and then they copied technology from a lot of places, and then the market was there. Now, the time that they were doing this, they crippled the Africans. Whether some people will say that we have to blame ourselves, I'll never say that. I never say that. I think there's a story that they have told that a lot of us don't know. So we continue to, so for instance, the question that you're asking, can we? Of course. You and I talking is part of the solution. The fact that you are talking and we are discussing something like this is part of the solution. They have as many problems as everybody else has. The only thing is that they've been able to brand it and package it to tell everybody else that they don't have any problem. As a matter of fact, if you really put a lot of things down, the only reason Africans think that they have problems is because everybody else is telling them they are poor. And so they have accepted it. You know, every day you get up in the morning, you are hearing the things that you hear about Africa from Africans and from everybody else. Is Africa is poor, Africa is disease, Africa is corrupt, bad leadership. They don't think about we are victims, we are not capable. That's all not true. You know, some people came to defeat us, they didn't defeat us. So the thing is that you went to school, but those things that will help you to diffuse this, you were not taught. I'm not sure that the course that you did, they ever told you anything proper about the intelligence and the victories of Africa. They probably would tell you that the Europeans came to civilize us, and you will believe it. So your start point or your starting point is a weak position. Therefore, you don't have much to even combat the other things that they tell you. The white people who come to tech to study, if some of them came to your class, were they more intelligent than you?
Yeah.
Were they more intelligent than you?
No.
They were not intelligent than you. Most of you were far more intelligent.
No.
I was in class with them. They were not intelligent. They didn't even know what. Some of them will write with the upper and the lower case together, and they were professors.
Yeah.
So it's when somebody else has resources. Like, for instance, if your father leaves you $100 million and tells you to start a business, no matter how stupid you are, I'm sure by the time you exhaust all the 100 million, you have a business. But if I have to start the business from zero and build it, you know, at that point when you come, you may say that maybe there's no hope for me. So it's not like that. There's so much that is going on. And there are so many positive things. There are so many successes that we have chalked, but we don't even look at them as successes. That's the challenge that we have. For instance, if you are building business, the business models that they have put in our schools where you, okay, look at the accounts that they prepare. They tell you starting, what is it? The capital that you have to start the business with. They tell you these are the costs. Let's say, and when you get somewhere, they tell you go and look for investors and partners. That's not the model we have that works here. For majority of us, that's not the model. You know, most of us will just have to do something to survive. Which investor is coming to give you which money? So somebody else has a lot of money and he builds a whole model. It's like economies in Africa and the rest of the world. They say that if you use debt, you will prosper. But they didn't use debt. You know, they didn't use debt to prosper. But now they are telling everybody else keep on borrowing from what's their name? IMF, and it will spark growth. That's a flawed economic principle. It has not worked, but still, most of our top economists, that's what they believe. And they will keep on borrowing. And then they cage your people. You know, so David. Hello. Elias, maybe you can talk if you can unmute yourself as well. Yes, sir.
He was not allowing me to unmute.
Oh, sorry.
So he has to take note when he wants me to talk.
He has to unmute you.
Yeah.
He himself is even.
Yes, yes. He's gone.
He will come back. I think it's a network.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Is he on campus?
Yes, he's on Tech Campus.
Oh, okay. He's doing well. I like his question of the impossibility there, the way he even asked it to say, just say, as in obey. Oh, yeah. He's answering himself.
They have to kill all of us.
Yeah, and produce some new breed and plant in place.
You know, those are some of the lies that they have spread everywhere. So you have a lot of opportunities.
Yes.
Hello.
I'm here. Go ahead, please.
Yes. I'm hearing from you. I want to obtain some knowledge. You can continue to speak, but unfortunately, I can get some knowledge from you. You can continue.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Elias. Thank you. All right. So, David, please go ahead before Elias comes in.
Okay. So I wanted to add to the point that, yes, it is possible.
Yes.
We have to acknowledge that we have a lot of work to do, nonetheless, to make it possible. But as they say, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. And of course, a step well taken.
Yeah.
And so it starts with the mindset. We need a lot of people unlearning and relearning. Yeah. They have to unlearn a lot of the chaff that they've been fed with over the period.
Yeah.
And most of Africans you meet and talk with don't think that they are capable. And it's so disheartening. Yeah. And that's where, if we make any significant stride, that's where it must begin.
Okay.
Until you come to a point that you say to yourself, out of a deep conviction that I can,
yes,
the effort that you even put in will not be with that kind of commitment that should give results, and you are likely to give up at the least challenges.
That's right.
So we need enough people. Ishmael, is that Ishmael?
Yes.
What's the name? Osman. Okay, and his people have to first come to appreciate that, yes, we are capable, except that capability we've not been taken through practical expositions that helps us to see that capability in demonstrable practical terms.
That's right.
So that will take a bit of time, but like you say, talking, these discussions is part of the process.
Yes.
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 So we continue to do that, help them to appreciate that your brain is not significantly different from the brain of any other person,
That's
especially
right.
any other achiever.
But do you know, David, do you know how many intellectuals, how many big people in society that if you bring this African topic up, how disabled they are mentally?
Yeah. In fact,
it's almost like who should tell you that you are able? And you become an enemy when you tell us that we have something.
Exactly.
The moment you are positive, say no, it's not like that. No, you are not realistic. You are not facing the fact.
Some pastors believe that the black man is cursed, and they'll talk about.
Yes, it's in their books, their expositions. The white man. Well, but we have to go to the root cause of it, actually. The root of it is where we have not dealt with, and the root of it will be dealt with proper research. But if you continue to teach our children that they came to civilize us from 1471, then that's where the problem is. Because we should be able to teach our people hundreds and thousands of years before we ever encountered the Europeans, and the achievements that we had, the scientific achievement, the governmental achievements, all those achievements that we had as a people. They didn't come to give us clothes and shoes and teach us how to serve God. So those things have not been dealt with. That's where the problem is. So we have a lot of our prominent people who just make loose statement because of the history that they read from an European person who has never been ready to be accountable to the damage and the destructions that they have done to Africa. So they had to destroy all those data and build a new one so that we will not accuse them of the error. So he will tell you that when he came, you didn't have anything. You were serving the devil. And so that is where the problem is. So a lot of Africans have not been set loose from those lies. And every Sunday we go to church, we are constantly told,
and they look forward to going and to be told that.
Yes. It's awful. You go to school, is there. The school you are being constantly told.
So the colonizer never left, really.
No, it's present. Life. The reaction of our people shows that if you're on any WhatsApp group, you will see it easily. Just now. Somebody will just, no, we have to be realistic. Our people are very dishonest people. Our business people are not correct. Africans are their own enemies. Like, what kind of people will continue to talk to themselves like this? These are wounded people,
Yeah.
We've been wounded. And that's what we really have to build a whole theology, a whole scientific data opposite what the guys told us. Or we will continue to have this. So because we will never meet a strong African who believes in these things. The moment they start to stop believing the lies that the Europeans concocted, they become strong. And if the weak one becomes a president, he will run to IMF in the slide.
Trouble.
We'll keep borrowing everywhere.
Trouble.
Because they can't think beyond the structure that they left.
I remember there was a time I was talking against the promotion of foreign direct investment. And a lot of people were like, are you okay?
That's right.
They don't seem to realize that the man is bringing 1 million. He's taking 10 million away from your system.
Exactly. And cripple you.
So what? Yes, and cripple you. Yes. So always your currency is devaluing, and you are going to church and you are praying. Somebody was praying to CDR rise. How can CDR rise?
And you look at the people who run to the IMF. Usually they school there, and those who believe in loans that they can use to build Africa, they school there. They speak their language, they wear the suit and the tie, and when there is any opportunity, they will give it to Chinese or Europeans. They don't believe in building the capacity.
Empower your people.
No,
build
they
the
don't
capacity within.
No, they don't believe that. And that's a major, because of I know a whole top academic person. He was telling me all the bad things that our people did. And then when he got to Georgesburg, he said, oh, that man was a great man. And I said, but you didn't see any good thing that our people did, but you were able to praise Georgesburg. I don't have a problem when you think that he did something good. But couldn't you see anything good that the Africans also did? Oh, no. We are animals. We don't think. We are very unpolished. And this way, I'm telling you, we see them everywhere. When they meet, that's how they talk. Because they can't understand our problems from the structural position. You know?
Oh, dear.
Position. So, and that's what the youth must learn. I think that if you want to live here and be less frustrated and be strong and have convictions, because you cannot build a business if you don't have convictions in yourself. In Africa, no. You must have convictions beyond believing in Jesus or Allah.
That's right. A lot of people believe in Jesus and Allah, but not themselves.
No, not themselves. So you must have conviction beyond the religious conviction. You must have the right data to know that your people were great people. Then you can build something. Other than that, just as you said, you try and you meet a little H, you just say, let me go to Obunsam. You know, so and you see them, and you see majority of the preachers who are building this theology for this. That's my concern, for the educated. Most of them very less educated.
Yeah.
Don't read any book. They don't understand any data. But yet they are the ones.
I know one who was actually warning his congregation not to read any other book apart from what he writes.
Yes.
I've
heard that from the
pulpit. That you are not with him. Yes.
I've heard that directly from the pulpit. Yes. And so you see the wounds that the youth have, not the youth, all of us. Because somebody has told you don't read anything apart from his book. So how are you going to be exposed intellectually?
Yeah.
And so when you try, it won't work because you don't come with the right tools. You don't know anything about finance. You don't know anything about how to build your own systems, manage your own team, manage the product. You are just using prayer. And if you tell them that you don't need prayer to build a business, they say you are the devil. You don't believe in God. Meanwhile, this Jesus never told you to use prayer to build anything. He said, who want to build and not sit down and do the calculation?
And count. Yeah, so the cost. If you have enough to complete it.
That's right. Yes. Do you have a strategy? Can you design it well where the engineering?
No, but they won't quote those ones to the members.
Do they even know? You know, so if anybody wants to join, please, let's see. If you want to join, let's see. Osman is off, but Vigor, if you want to learn, if you want to join as well. Because our only disadvantage is how much we don't know as a people in sitting in the wealth. We sit in the wealth, but we don't know so much about what we have. And so we are looking somewhere instead of looking within. And they have never told us to look within.
But which nation has developed based on taxes? That's the joke of the century. To think that you are going to tax your people to develop your economy. Yeah. How? Which economy developed based on taxes?
You see? But that's the thing that they have told our economists. And if he becomes a minister of state or finance, that's the only thing he knows.
Yeah, you hear them.
You see, the other day I was talking to this woman who has a lot of ideas. She has done a lot of products. She's thinking of going to register, but she's scared of the state institutions, the FDA, the tax people, because the moment you put your name there, they will not let you sleep. Meanwhile, they will give a lot of concessions
to foreigners.
Millions. And yet somebody is selling something small, you want to go and close it because it's not paid. When I hear a lot of things beyond the superficial. And those who will try to move, you move. Those who will believe in what we are saying and stay here for the next 10 years, you see the difference. They will have far more success in terms of finance, in terms of all their careers, and in terms of even quality of life.
Yeah.
For them to believe this is where the challenge is. Because when they start, the frustrations are so many. And it is frustration because you are not prepared.
Yeah, it's like you are using Form 1 knowledge to solve final year university questions.
Right. That's right.
It won't be easy. So
It
you
won't be
get
easy.
the right.
That's right. You don't build. You don't have the capacity.
And yeah. And for me, starting early also helps.
Okay.
And making the mistakes early enough.
Okay.
Getting the knowledge. Some of the things will come through experience. Because if you don't encounter a problem, how are you going to be able to ask someone to even help you?
All right.
So if you are waiting, you are sitting, you are waiting, those issues will not even crop up for you to seek the necessary help.
It's true.
So I always encourage them at a time that the stakes are not so high. You don't have any mouths to feed. You are not paying school fees, children's school fees. You are not doing much. So your parents are even fending for you. That's when you should start putting your ideas down, fine-tuning them, seeking the necessary help, getting a semblance of a business plan or a project plan together, and all those things.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. Don't wait and finish school before you are now. When the pressure is mounting on you, then say you are venturing. Now and the frustration will be more.
The minister will come and tell them they are helping them to become entrepreneurs. Meanwhile, the minister only had a job because the government appointed him.
Yeah.
You know, but now he's telling the youth to go and become a. Anyway. So, but
even the use of the entrepreneur, I find a lot of problems with it. You're asking people to just go into business. You want them to set up enterprises. It's not the same as entrepreneurship in its truest sense.
All right.
And it's not everybody who can go through what it takes to be an entrepreneur. So if you are helping them to set up small businesses for themselves,
yes,
that is fine. Maybe some buying and selling here and there. I don't see that one as entrepreneurship. But that's what they should be promoting rather than promoting entrepreneurship. Because
entrepreneurship is more
I don't think
that's entrepreneurship. It's more of innovation, more of a call.
Exactly.
Bring something
exactly. Out. Yeah.
You think something is within that.
And it's not everybody who
wants to do that.
No. A lot of them, like you said from the beginning, you want to survive. You want to, and that one gets some fine, quick, established, duplicate something that is already established.
So technically, they are creating jobs for them, and they are calling it entrepreneurship. They want them to get jobs. So now that the government cannot employ you, the multinational cannot employ you, we want you to help. We want to help you to get something so you can live by it.
That's not confused. That so they should stop. They should stop calling it entrepreneurship.
That is
when they do that, they chipping
the cost. No, it's true. They chipping the cost because that's national. Anyway, it's okay. Africa. Wow. Where is does anybody want to have anything? Does anybody have anything to say? Vigor, if you want to talk, please go ahead. Professor Henry, if you want to say anything. If you want to say anything, you can say something. But it's amazing. But you see, as I was saying, David, what was it? The media is not helping us. They are really causing damages.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Osman, your mark. Okay.
All yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm not sure if you heard a lot of the things that you said.
Yeah, I heard a little.
So go ahead. We wanted to hear how your mates think. I mean, we will not be able to, see how put it. the right way, the way, because when I engage, David, you are here, can talk. So we were saying that there are a lot of things that we have to understand, that the school is not enough for us to come out and build something, and that the school is a tool that helps us to continue to learn. So we went to school, they should to learn how to learn, to apply, you know. So the tools, you can read because you went to school, you can do the maths because you went to school. Maybe you can understand some things higher than the one who didn't go much. That's basically the advantage. From there, if you want to get a job from the government position, that's fine, multinational position. But the options there are not many, because now we are producing a lot of you. So they probably can take about 5%. That is even if you know somebody, which means most of you would then have to learn the tools required or needed for you to build something, you know. And we are saying that it starts with the way you think. And much of it, the negativity, the blaming, where they have directed our attention as to, oh, it's because of corruption, it's because of this, and you become. Osman was even saying he's giving up. He thinks that they should kill all of us. No, it's not. It's not like that. You go to China. I've been to China several times. They are not intelligent. They are not more intelligent than us. There's a lot of Chinese people, but at least there are some who are trying to do something. The same, I'm sure that there are a lot of people who are also trying to do something. We just have to be very intentional and constructive about it, that we are bent on building our continent. It should be something that resonates with almost everybody, you know. And then we should mute the sports and the comedy, because we are not being assessed just because we can produce the Marquesians and the great musicians. No, we're still importing things from China. We still have a lot of graduates to give jobs to. So if somebody has music and those, it's fine, but that's not the solution. That's not where the future is. And so our attention should not be there. But unfortunately, that's where the intention is. You know, if I build a business, the president does not care. But let me sing a song and become a popular man, they will call me. So where are our priorities? Priorities are messed up, you know, and that could be the problem. So we are certain heroes that majority of the people will not be able to become. The majority of the people would have to do something with the creative minds that they have, you know. And so we have to tool them. We have to give them exposure so that you can do something from where you are, whether it's in IT, whether it's in agriculture, whether it's in retail, whether it's in construction, anything that anybody else can do. We help them to know the processes, the stages that all of us can go through, you know. And then the reality of us building an idea into a business, that you don't enter thinking that some government, something will come and give you help. A lot of the times, it's not the case at all. A lot of the times, it's not the case at all. If you wait for help, you may wait forever, you know. So that's my bit that I have to say. Osman.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Kwabena.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Good evening, Mr. Kwabena.
Yes, good evening.
I think it's a much pleasure, but because of the
nobody's talking.
And the rest,
Osman, wait, let this guy.
Mr. Kwabena, I will send you Prof number. Prof is from Kenya University of Agribusiness.
Okay.
Here.
Let Vigor talk. He wanted to say something. Vigor, talk, please.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Good evening to all of you, and thank you
Vigor,
for the opportunity.
Good evening,
Mr. Kwabena, I don't believe on the school system. Like some of us have been to the school, at least me like this from SHS. But the idea to venture entrepreneurship is not there. No business idea. And as I said, I don't want to blame it on our school system.
Okay.
So someone like this, what should I do?
Okay. 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 See,
I don't know what the question is there.
You are saying that you don't think it's the school. Maybe I side with you, because see, but the proper understanding of the situation is also important. That our school was designed from the religious settings, you know, so they were teaching our people, the Catholic, the Methodist, the Basel people, the current European education that we have, how to read and how they could use and talk to them. Education itself should be built on the ability to develop the mind to solve problems. That was not part of the kind of education they gave us. That's the fact. And so the benefit of the kind of education we have now is that you can use the internet, you can type, you can read, you can search information for yourself. That is brilliant, you know, but you have to understand that the content they gave you, you cannot build anything with it. So take that content out and accept that I don't know anything. So now let me go and school myself, you know, because if you want to build business, for instance, you must know the area you want to build. You know, you must have some time spent in a particular area in business. You want to develop product, you must know how to develop those products. Beyond the product, you must know how to manage people, manage yourself, how to spend your time. You know, if you are building business, you cannot be playing like everybody else. You know how to organize your thought, how to organize your finances, which means all this information, you must start to learn them yourself. And then you don't learn everything in the book. Start to do something small. Because you are going to make a lot of mistakes. A lot of troubles will come. But because you have set for yourself, this is where I want to go.
Time management.
That's right, time management. But you have told yourself that this is where I want to go. So until I get there, I'm not quitting. And so I can fail 1,000 times, but one stand-up, one time that I get it right, that will be the end of all the troubles, you know? And then being able to understand the culture, the people you serve, and knowing that whatever you produce, you must sell it. So you learn how to sell, you know? How can I pick, even if you can't produce anything, somebody has produced something. And now you guys are very fortunate. The social media, the internet has made a lot of things very easy. You can reach a lot of people with whatever you have. You can make calls, you can use WhatsApp, you can connect with a lot of people. Use that. But that old thinking that I finished school, somebody must give me a job. If they have not given me any job, it means I'm useless. Don't buy that. You know, so there's a lot that we all have to explore. And then whatever you are doing, be very happy and proud with it. Never feel like you are nothing because you are selling kenke. I told you, if you do it well, the kind of things you will see, you'll be shocked. The same kenke, if you have creative ideas and if you can manage, and then tell yourself, I'm not going to screw people. I'm going to be honest, hardworking person. You know, and if you fail, take the superstition out. It's not the devil, it's the devil, somebody bring you anointing water, those things, they don't count. They build churches, they don't build business. You know, so you have to have clear mind that my right decisions are going to account for my success. You know, the information that I assess will inform the decisions that I make. So if I'm not getting right decisions, it means that I'm going to make a lot of errors until I get the right decisions. And then you tell yourself that I'm going to do this. And sometimes you may not even have anything to eat. Don't cry because you don't eat, though. Cry because you don't have a dream. Because some people are eating, but they are very confused. They don't know where to go. So your food should be the dream you're working towards, you know, and it can be physical product, it can be digital product. There are a lot of young boys now who are building a lot of things over the internet because their mind is different now. They are looking for information, they're searching, they are building, they are trying. So once you pick it, you try. You pick it, you try. Let people laugh at you, don't worry. And you should not even be concerned about what people think anyway. You should be concerned about what you are creating. Vigor, is that
yes,
right?
sir.
Yes.
Yeah,
so,
fine, thank you, sir.
Yes, so we need you to be very positive. It's not true that somewhere is better. Don't believe it. A lot of your friends who are outside Ghana telling you Ghana is nothing. I'm telling you, if Ghana is nothing, why are the Chinese trying to come here? The Europeans, they are coming. Indians have been here. You see the money that a lot of them control. Never believe that. If somebody tells you that, it's because they don't know much. Okay? So school, train yourself, build your capacity. Whatever you can do, do it well. Learn how to put a business together. It can even be farm, but if you are equipped, you will build a farm differently. You know, so it's the right skill set that you need to focus on. Right.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. If you have any other question, you can ask. And we are ready. Anytime you have any questions, send us. If you can get our contact, my contact is on the YouTube page. Send us, because we need you. And then tell your friends to think rightly. Bet and sports will not change your life. Following these media people, the people we call celebrity, will not, because they are only looking for their interests. They are not looking for the interest of all of us, So they will just put anything there. People laugh, they get likes, and they get car. That's all. But that's not what is going to develop us. So we need you to think higher than them. We need you to think of design, manufacturing, processes. Think creatively, build something. That's what we need from you. And you have the capacity. You have the capacity. So we don't need you to be following those people. They destroy your mind. Those people, those little girls and boys who just every day they're on TV, we don't know what they're talking about. Discussing same thing every day. No value that they are adding. And yet those are the ones that we are promoting. And then we turn around and say that we are not seeing anything. How would you see anything when you're wasting your time on nonsense? Even the boys with YouTube pages, what do they put out? Shallow things. Very shallow. And then we will do, and then there's also another one, religion, we don't go there. So let's leave it. Vigo.
Yes, sir.
You go there, they say you are fighting them, but they are destroying lives. Okay? Because you build something, they tell you that come and take this sticker and put it there to work. Come and take this oil, come and take this. They are lies. Okay? There are people who have built huge institutions without those things. Because it's just creative thinking that you need, an ability to build. You see that? So, religious beliefs, the way we are practicing it is wrong. And that's why most of the youth are choked. Because they will follow, then they grow, they don't have anything, any skill set, any network, any other information, apart from, I have cousins, when you are talking to them, it's only Bible that they are quoting. And I tell them, you can't build a computer with Bible quotation. You have to go and learn how to build a computer. So and when you say it, they say, hey, don't go there. But if we cannot go there. Why? Because you want to enslave them. We have to go there so that those who hear maybe will free themselves. Because there are a lot of things that have crippled our mind. You said school is not one, but school is one. School made you believe that once you are the first in the class, when you come out, you succeed. That's a lie. The ones who succeed in this life is not because they are the first in the class. It's because they were willing to go through what they had to go through. And a lot of them are not palatable. The other thing will be they tell you go to America, you'll be successful. That's also another lie. There are a lot of our mates who are in America who work 3 jobs in order to have anything. Okay. The other one will tell you that God will do it. It's not necessarily true. God does not do anything. You have to do the work. The other thing will be wait for your brother in politics to give you connection. Don't wait for anybody. Design your plan and fight. If anybody comes along to help you, praise the Lord. Okay? But don't wait. And never feel weak because you don't have anybody to help you. Help yourself. Because you have to be tough-minded. Okay? Without giving excuses and crying. Don't cry. You don't have anybody to help you. Don't worry. If you're diligent and you're honest and you want to learn, those are the opportunities. That's where opportunity is. So those are some of the things that we need you to know. Right. David.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. David, you want to add anything?
I'm mute.
Yes.
Am I unmuted?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes. The youth or those in school, first of all, have to appreciate that God has created them with capabilities as any other person on earth. The people they are learning their theories, their principles, and all those things they are telling them. They are no different from they themselves. And that basic, each and every individual born into this world has the inborn capability to come up with an idea, a theory, a product, or a service. That is a business that is capable of transforming the lives of at least 1 billion people within 10 years.
Whoa.
Now that's the minimum capability of every individual. As for the maximum capability, nobody knows.
So the minimum.
The maximum capability of every individual, nobody knows.
But the minimum is
nobody can tell how much you can accomplish in this world. What you can come up with.
The minimum?
So the minimum is that each and every individual born into this world, including you and I and Osman and his people,
yes,
each of us is capable of coming up with an idea, a theory, a product, or a service that is capable of positively impacting the lives of at least 1 billion people within a period of 10 years.
Wow.
So they should arm themselves with this thought that they are capable. So all they need is to take the necessary steps to harness that inborn potential. And as time goes on, we'll be sharing some of the principles that helps us to unearth this inborn potential. I wish them well. They should keep up.
When is